Hello everyone, this is Bruce Collins from the YouTube channel Bruce Collins Reacts and Stuff. And I also have another channel too, it's called The Bruce Collins Show. You can find out more about that on the Bruce Collins Show channel. Please subscribe to both if you like them, and I would really appreciate that. And today we're going to talk about incredible Mandela effects. Even more. Okay, here we go. And I just want to say that the channel is called All Time. That's the YouTube channel. We have featured them before on this channel.
Movie Mandela Effect about a scene that is very different than most remember. Think back to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie from 2004. During the song I'm a Goofy Goober, SpongeBob can be seen playing a guitar. Now, if you were a fan of this movie growing up, what does that guitar look like? A lot of people have very similar memories of this one that are now completely incorrect. The most commonly said memory of this guitar is that it is white, V-shaped, and has a double neck. This is the general consensus online. Unfortunately, though, all of those details are wrong. The guitar actually looks like a peanut with a GG at the end of its head. This one has been freaking out SpongeBob fans for years. Is this what you remember?
Babe is the main character of the Babe and Babe Pig in the City movies. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to visualize Babe the pig in your mind and ask yourself this. Do you remember the pig having a head of hair? I'm sure most of you said no. So tell me, does this look exactly how you remember this lovable pig? Once this was noticed online, every comment essentially boiled down to, no, no way, absolutely not. And I can see why. It's weird and jarring. Why does Babe have hair like this? It's just so strange looking now. It's as if they dyed the hair on Babe's head and brushed it. Is it a wig? Is it real? Has it always been there? I'll let you decide in the comments.
Let's take a look at the Vitruvian Man, a drawing of a man facing towards you with arms and legs in different positions. Here's my question for you. In this detailed anatomical drawing, how many arms are shown? Many people remember 3 sets of symmetrical arms, but this drawing in fact only has 2 sets of arms. Some believe the empty space on the left and right between the arms and legs was supposedly where that extra set of arms were, but as of now, they've never existed. Others believe that the 3rd set of arms were sticking straight up in the air. There are a few different variations of this supposed memory, but in all cases, there were 3 sets of arms, not 2. Do you remember there being more than this, or is this exactly what you remember? Let's talk about the Nintendo Wii and its launch title Wii Sports. This simple packing game made a big splash back in 2006. It contained tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. It was extremely easy to pick up and play, which made it popular with most demographics. There wasn't a lot of depth to these games, but it was great for parties and families to have a good laugh. By the end of the Wii's life cycle, it sold over 101 million units, meaning a ton of people on this earth have played Wii Sports. Now that you're up to date with Wii Sports, let's talk about its Mandela effect. When you would win one of these games, a quick replay of what happened would play, and then a pop-up would appear saying and showing the words, "You win." Does that sound familiar to you? Because if it does, then you have been affected by the Mandela effect. It apparently never actually says, "You win." It shows the text on screen, but no voice appears. Nintendo has always taken a very minimal approach to voice acting in their games. While the Xbox and PlayStation consoles had fully voice-acted adventures, Nintendo typically cut costs by not including voice actors of any kind, or as minimal as possible in their titles. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, you didn't get full voice lines, especially during the Wii console generation. But in Wii Sports, a male voice actor does say lines during matches. In fact, you can watch 5.5-minute compilations of all the random lines and words that he says. But he never once says, "You win." It just doesn't exist. It apparently never existed, and yet so many people remember this line. I even checked out the sequels to Wii Sports, both Wii Sports Resort and Wii Sports Club, and guess what? It's in neither of them as well. So where did this line come from, and why do so many people associate it with Wii Sports? Let's talk about the Grinch. Every year around this time, I get comments from people telling me to cover this one. So it's finally time to cover it. Let's do it. What is the name of this Christmas book and movie, retelling the story of the Grinch? Is it The Grinch Who Stole Christmas? Or is it How the Grinch Stole Christmas? This is one of those that didn't necessarily
I'm going to say it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
affect me, but there are so many cases of people online who are affected by this that it can't possibly be ignored. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of comments and posts out there from people who remember this differently than it is now. The correct answer is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I want to hear your thoughts on this because so many people remember this differently. and yet all of those people remember it in the exact same way. This is what I find so weird about all of this. I have a question for you. Which of these logos is the official Starbucks logo? Is it the one on the left with a full crown, or is it the one on the right with a star on its crown? I'm sure most of you have seen this logo 1,000 times. This should be incredibly easy to pick from, right? This Mandela effect has been troubling a lot of people recently, so let's figure it out once and for all. This is the correct Starbucks logo. I gotta be honest with you, this one got me. The star on top looks so weird and so out of place. And looking at the history of the Starbucks logo doesn't ease my mind either. Since 1987, the mermaid on the Starbucks logo has had that star on her crown. It has never been removed or altered. This one really got me. What about you? This next Mandela effect continues the idea of being really troubling for those affected. If you don't play video games, this one's probably not going to affect you. But if you do play video games and you've played this specific game, this might hit you hard. Up next, we're talking about Mario Kart, the legendary arcade-style racing game that people have enjoyed for decades. And today, specifically, the Nintendo 64 version, Mario Kart 64. This Mandela effect has to do with the insanely unforgiving track, Rainbow Road. The difficulty comes from its trackless edges and hairpin turns. So tell me, did Mario Kart 64's version of Rainbow Road have rails along the sides?
Hey everybody, Walton Goggins here. Starting a business is never easy, but with GoDaddy Arrow, that endeavor is about to become...
Yes or no? The Mandela effect here is that so many people remember Mario
I'm not sure.
Kart 64's Rainbow Road not having rails, thus making it a much tougher race. But apparently it's always had rails? The Super Nintendo version of Mario Kart's Rainbow Road did not have rails, but apparently the N64 one did. This seems like an open and shut case of potentially mixing up the games, but numerous people online claim that they have only played the Nintendo 64 version. So why would they know what's in the older version of Mario Kart that they've never played? This Mandela effect has to do with the incredibly popular song called The Bare Necessities. I'm going to read a very specific verse, and I want you to tell me what goes in the blank. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be blank of my big home. Is it fonder or is it found? The lyrics that pop up when you Google search the Bare Necessity lyrics, it says fonder, so that must be right. Nope. If you watch the movie today, it now says found. Let's watch the clip and you can judge for yourself.
I couldn't be found of my big home. I couldn't be found of my big home.
Help me out, hardcore and casual Disney fans. What did you think about this change? Did that wording throw you off as much as it did me? Because for me, found doesn't make any sense. It's a there's a snake in my boots all over again. Another Disney classic is 1992's Aladdin. This movie takes place in the nondescript Middle Eastern country of Agrabah. Well, here is the weird and confusing Mandela effect regarding that movie. What country is the Aladdin story now historically based in? Is it Egypt, China, Iraq, or Turkey? One would believe this movie is based on a classic Arabic story or a folktale like Arabian Nights or The Thief of Baghdad. Well, you'd be surprised
I'm going to say Iraq. I don't remember, though.
to learn that this isn't the case anymore. Aladdin is now originally based in China and was originally envisioned to have a full Chinese cast of characters, including 2 genies. I'm including this on my list because I found a thread of people freaking out about this seemingly changed historical fact. Is this what you remember
That is interesting.
of Aladdin's origins? Or was Disney your first and only introduction to this ancient story? Let me hear about it in the comments below. Let's talk about a classic guitar brand founded in 1890 that is known all over the world. How is it spelled? Squire or Squire? Anyone out there who has owned a guitar or a first-time amp has seen this before. So what do you remember? Both sound the same, but it turns out that the spelling of Squire is actually this one. That's the correct spelling. This Mandela effect has been extremely popular lately, as it's affected so many people online. Are you one of those affected? Or have you always known that Squire was spelled like this? I've tested this on a bunch of different friends, and every single one of them has gotten it wrong, which is pretty rare for a Mandela effect. Usually it'll be 40-60 or 60-40, sometimes 50-50. But this one, from what I've seen online, as well as everyone I've talked to, I'm clocking at 100% for this one, which is pretty compelling. So I'd love to hear what you think. Here's something that I find really cool about the Mandela effect. Once a topic has been affected by it, people tend to look closer into whatever that topic is. And when things are given a little more scrutiny, oftentimes even more Mandela effects are discovered within it. And this next one is no different. I've covered the Great Pyramids of Giza twice before in previous videos, so why not cover it a third time? When you think of the pyramids, what do you see? Mummies, tombs, pharaohs. What about hieroglyphs? Hieroglyphics written all across the walls. Well, it turns out there are no hieroglyphs in any of the pyramids of Giza. That's right, there are no hieroglyphs anywhere in the pyramids of Giza. There are in fact no hieroglyphs, no writings, no treasures, and no mummies ever found in the pyramids of Giza. This has apparently always been the case. What's next? There's 4 pyramids of Giza, there's 5 pyramids. Who knows? Can't wait to find out though. The year is 1973, and the movie The Exorcist just released. Audiences across the nation are terrified. The cussing, the gore, the special effects, and story was incredibly scary for its time. So much so that it launched an entirely new genre of horror movies. The Exorcist was burnt into the zeitgeist of American cinema, and has since been called one of the scariest movies of all time. If you watch it nowadays, I would argue that it's not quite as scary as a lot of those people remember, but times have changed. We've seen a lot of scary movies since. So regardless of how you feel about this movie, if you have seen it, I have a Mandela effect for you. Remember poor Reagan, tied to the bed and possessed? Did Reagan have a feeding tube in her nose during The Exorcist? Yes or no? Well, it turns out in a lot of scenes, she actually did. How convenient that it disappeared before her head spun around. Otherwise, that'd be an especially awkward scene. Many people don't remember this feeding tube, but there it is. What do you think? Do you remember this feeding tube from The Exorcist, or is this another case of the Mandela effect? Let's talk about the Flintstones. Or are they called the Flintstones? Which one sounds right to you? If you're old enough to...
I think it's the bottom one, Flintstones. Because flint is a stone. Flynn is not. But I could be wrong.
If you're old enough to have grown up with these Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters, this should be easy, right? If you picked the Flintstones, then you're remembering it correctly.
Good.
The official title is indeed the Flintstones, spelled with an extra T. This is one of the earliest examples of the Mandela effect, where a large group of people remember something differently than how it is today. Apparently, the reason it's spelled this way is a play on the Stone Age idea of flint, or flintstone, which is a naturally occurring mineral quartz that was used by our ancestors as spears, axes, and most importantly, to create fire. It's honestly a brilliant name for a TV show about the Stone Age, but why do so many people remember this incorrectly? Well, that's the Mandela effect for you. Sometimes things seem to change, without any discernible reason or rationale. Why do these changes happen? What's causing them? And why are they seemingly so random? Well, you'll just have to watch my series, What Caused the Mandela Effect, to find out. Let's kick things off with the weirdest Wizard of Oz Mandela effect out there. Everyone remembers the Tin Man carrying an axe. Everyone remembers Dorothy carrying a basket and Toto. Even the Cowardly Lion held onto his tail when he was afraid. So what was the Scarecrow holding on to? Did the Scarecrow in the Wizard of Oz carry a pistol? Does that sound right? Yes or no? As it turns out, yes, the Scarecrow carried a pistol in the Wizard of Oz. In this magical and wondrous place, the brainless Scarecrow walked around carrying a pistol. What a terrifying combination. This specific Mandela effect has blown a lot of minds online, so what about you? But let's assume you've heard of this one before. Well, did you know that the Scarecrow wasn't the only character in the Wizard of Oz who carried a weapon? In fact, when Dorothy arrives in Oz and is greeted by a song and parade celebrating that the Wicked Witch is dead, the Munchkin army that marches by, they're all holding rifles with bayonets at the end. The leader of the army is brandishing a giant sword. Oz probably holds some darker secrets that are better left hidden. Our next Mandela effect has to do with a series of classic paintings by Cassius Marcellus Coolidge between 1894 and 1910. These paintings are known as Dogs Playing Poker. I'm sure even the most casual art fan will recognize these paintings because they have been displayed in the backgrounds of numerous movies, shows, and quite a few bars. Here is the Dogs Playing Poker Mandela effect. Did any of the dogs ever wear a transparent green visor? You know, this kind of hat. Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
Despite the fact that a ton of people fondly remember these paintings of realistic dogs playing poker, no such painting exists with a dog wearing a transparent green visor. What amazes me most is that I can see the painting in my mind. I'm sure quite a lot of you can as well. So where did we get this visual from? I tried digging deeper into this case and I haven't found anything yet. We all know these paintings were very popular, and I'm sure quite a few spin-offs and variations exist. But even then, I'm still unable to locate a painting with a green poker visor. So if anyone has any idea where this comes from, please leave it in the comments below. Together, we can hopefully solve this mystery. For a second Mandela effect, I'm going to be talking about the 1983 movie Risky Business. Specifically, a much beloved and often recreated scene starring Tom Cruise. In this famous scene, Tom Cruise is singing along with a song as he slides into frame. In this famous moment, what is he wearing? Visualize the scene in your head and come up with an answer. Is it a white shirt or is it a pink shirt with stripes? Well, get this. Now, it's actually a pink shirt with stripes. And not only is it a pink shirt with stripes, what else do you remember him wearing during this scene? Did Tom Cruise have sunglasses on during that scene or not? Well, the answer now is no. He never wore sunglasses during that scene. The creepiest movie Mandela effects always seem to have multiple aspects missing. This time, it's the different shirt and the missing sunglasses. If you did remember the classic look, you aren't alone. Residue of this Mandela effect is all over the internet if you Google this topic. From parody ads and commercials, to The Simpsons, to even Scrubs reenacting the scene. This effect is one of the most compelling and mysterious of the movie Mandela effects. So please, let me hear all of your thoughts about this in the comments below.
Let's talk about Michelangelo's David. This statue is a Renaissance masterpiece which depicts the biblical hero, David. The Mandela effect regarding the David statue is a detail that many online claim has changed. It's specifically in regards to his eyes. What people seem to remember is that David had normal-shaped pupils, but as of now, that isn't the case. As of right now, David actually has heart-shaped pupils. Does this look right to you? Some have claimed it's a representation of specular highlights in his eyes. Others have claimed it's a heart to represent love, but honestly, no one knows. What makes this so fascinating is that this famous statue has been studied for over 500 years. Amazingly enough, this detail has seemingly never been noticed before. What's fascinating is that the Mandela effect changes to famous statues isn't a new phenomena. Just like the thinker, David has seemingly shifted over time. Or at least that's how many people remember it. As of now, there is no explanation regarding the reason the pupils are heart-shaped. It's not even a common trend seen in other statues, let alone other works of Michelangelo. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below.
All right, there you have it. Some fascinating Mandela effects. If you want to see the full video, it's called 50 Incredible Mandela Effects. It's by the channel All Time. And have you had any Mandela effects personally? What are the ones that stand out for you? Please comment below. And I would be very interested to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, if you could, please like and subscribe. Like this video and subscribe to the Bruce Collins channel, the Bruce Collins Reacts and Stuff, and also the Bruce Collins Show channel on YouTube. Check that out. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care.